walk through this great tune, Last of Harris. This is a John Salyer tune in the key of G. And when I first learned this tune, I learned a squared out version of the tune. And when I went back and listened to the original source recording on Slippery Hill, I discovered that it is a crooked tune. And so the recording, the fast version that I played, I did it crooked. But what we'll do today is that I will walk you through a simple squared out version, and then we'll put in all the embellishments to make it sound good, and then I'll explain to you how to play it crooked. Okay, so this tune, the A part starts with this big C chord, the big 4 chord, and that's one of the reasons why this tune has this sort of self-propelled feeling to it, like you just don't ever want to stop, because every time you jump right into the part, you're jumping into that really strong 4 chord, and it's really fun. So for this part, you can do what I often do is a strum ditty. So I lead with the strum instead of sort of what we think of as the standard bum ditty where you lead with a note. But that's also great in this tune if you want to lead on the open string. Or sorry, the first string. So either way, I'm going to do 2 bum ditties, and then I'm going to do a pull-off. And since I'm doing the full chord, I'm going to use my ring finger to do that first string pull-off. Pull-off, bum-diddy. And actually, so you'll hear that I don't usually do the diddy part when I do that. Okay, here comes the second portion of that A part. Hammer 4th, 3rd, 2nd, pull off 3rd. So all together we've got, oops. And then the part begins to repeat, the first half repeats. And then we're going to have a little ending piece. So a lot of it feels like it repeats until we sort of resolve on that open 3rd string. Okay, let me play that whole A part through for you again. Possible I just played it a little bit differently, but that's okay. This is the simplified version, so you can just wrap your head around the tune. We'll get into all of the details in the next round. Here is our simplified B part. It's going to do a lot of single string, first string stuff up the neck. We're going to start on this 5th fret, 2 bum ditties. So I've jumped to the 9th, 7th, 7th. And I really like to punctuate those notes. So if I didn't punctuate the notes, I would sound like this. Which is also fine. But what I'm doing is I'm doing what's called choking. I hit the note and then I lift my left finger up just enough so that the string stops ringing. And then when I bring my finger down again, it makes a separate, distinct note. There we go. Okay, so B part goes. So the second piece of that was 5th, pull off, 2nd, 3rd, 3rd. Okay, here comes the whole tune in a square and simplified version. Here's the more elaborate version of Last of Harris. I'm just gonna go through pretty slow, and I'm gonna hope that you know how to do your drop thumbs and everything so that you can follow along. And lastly, let's talk about what made that tune crooked. If you listen through and then you listen to my squared off version, it might be apparent to you. If you've played crooked tunes before, you probably picked up on it pretty quickly. If you've never really played crooked tunes and you don't really know what that means, then I'll explain it to you. Crooked tunes, first of all, the definition of crooked tunes, people have different definitions. Many types of fiddle music, like if you think about like New England-based like contradance music, has a square structure. Every part has, I don't know, what is it, 32 bars or 32 beats or something like that. And so it's a square, very square structure. So a lot of these Southern and Midwestern American old-time tunes have structures that are not square. Sometimes they have shorter parts, and sometimes they have longer parts. Another thing that they do is sometimes they just chop out pieces of a part and then jump into the next part early, or what we would think of as early. And so this is a perfect example of that, because how the tune works is that you play through the A part once. Here comes the second half of the A part. You start again. And now I've jumped to the B part. I cut out half of the A part. So we had the full A part, we repeated the A part, but we only played the first half of that and jumped to the B part. So that's how this tune is crooked, and that's a pretty common way. Sometimes tunes will do that where it's going to cut an entirely, half of the tune part out, so everything feels very even. Sometimes these tunes jump by like one beat. Like they cut off the last beat and jump to the B part. And that can sound really tricky, because not only are you missing, in this case, you're missing part of the part, but it still feels even in a way. But that missing one beat, that's where some of these old-time tunes get really tricky. But let me play through nice and slow. I will play through the crooked version of this tune so you can hear how it jumps early. There you go. And if you listen through all the way through to my recording at the beginning, just for arrangement sake, I ended on the A part and I squared off the A part as a way to just sort of like bring the tune to a resolution. So that was just my attempt at doing something a little different with the tune. Enjoy. If you play this in a jam, you will probably play it squared out. It just makes it more friendly and easy for everybody. Or if you're playing with people who you really know and crooked tunes are very easy for them, they might do the crooked version, or you could suggest that you do the crooked version. Whatever works for you. Enjoy.